In 1966, Jerry and Hugh acquired the Ripon Ranch, the ranch's first expansion away from the Escalon Ranch. This expansion and subsequent others have succeeded due to the hard work and dedication from Barton Ranch employees, those from the time my son and I were around to the present day. In the mid-60s and 70s, it didn't hurt to have my 3 healthy great-grandsons around either.
We worked hard growing up. When we were in school, Dad and Mom were firm that our job was to be good students. And when it was summer vacation, if we weren't on a family vacation, we came to work, we punched in with the rest of the guys, and we worked as hard, or we had a internal pressure. We wanted to work maybe even harder than those guys worked, which was tough to do because everybody that works here is just very dedicated and hardworking.
I've hoed a lot of weeds on this ranch in my day. And I remember a couple of years ago, I asked him, I said, hey, do you remember what our beginning wage was when we started working on the ranch? He said, no, I don't remember. And I said, well, it was 60 cents an hour. And he kind of chuckled and he said, yeah, I think you were overpaid.
You know, all the work that he gave us, some of it was stimulating and interesting, and some of it was just, you know, plain hard grunt work, or as Dad would describe it, character building opportunities.
In 1977, my dear daughter-in-law Alice joined us in heaven. For years, she kept the books for Barton Manufacturing, and she made other significant contributions just like all Barton women have done. The 1980s were proud years for the Barton family. Dawn graduated from Stanford in 1979 and married Jan in 1980. Gary also became a Stanford graduate in 1981. And in 1984, Brent married Cindy shortly before they both graduated from Cal Poly. While Dawn and Gary went on to work in other ventures, Brent returned to the ranch in 1985 and was quickly thrust into the role as manager when Jerry embarked on another challenge. Our family had been a member of Diamond Walnut Growers since its inception, and Jerry had served on the board and as its chairman. But when the company faced bleak financial distress, they called on my grandson to head the company. The 5-year venture turned out to be a resounding success.
And it was quite a turnaround, and I will say I think it was one of the most gratifying business experiences I've had in my life.
While Jerry was employed at Diamond, his brother Hugh opted to sell his half of the Barton farming interest to Jerry. A graduate of Cal, Hugh had concentrated on the manufacturing part of the business and demonstrated the same inventive imagination as his dad, developing equipment that could separate debris from the crop when walnuts are picked by mechanical harvesters. He also adapted the Barton walnut huller for use in pecans, filberts, pistachios, and macadamia nuts, and he made equipment for harvesting dates.
He also, working with my dad during the last years of my dad's life, in developing dehydration equipment, which the Barton Company sold throughout California. He also developed export markets in India and Chile and Hungary and Israel. So he did a lot to expand the business.
In 1994, Gary married Deborah, just a short time after he had left his job to join the Barton Ranch management team, heading the Ripon Ranch and coordinating the company's venture into the real estate development of Seven Oaks. With the new Malonis Dam in place, there was little concern in 1997 when a record-setting snowpack filled the Sierra. But tense moments and flooding still struck the Barton Ranch when a warm midwinter rainstorm melted the snow and caused torrents of water to flow into the valley. It could have been much worse, though, without that dam and some divine intervention.
That snow and then rain event was so significant. really a historic event for this watershed that New Maloney's came very close to spilling.
Yeah, the flood of '97, that was a tough event. The projections were that New Maloney's was going to spill within 24 hours. It was filling that quick.
There was supposed to be another very significant rainstorm, and by God's grace it did not come, and so we were saved, as well as really the entire area was saved, a significant amount of devastation.
I remember just praying in desperation, God, just get us through this and please stop this rain. And you know, the rains did let up. The dam did not spill. It got very close, but it didn't spill. The thing just worked out pretty amazing, and I really attribute that to the grace of God.
From the processing of prunes, the invention of the walnut hullers, to the Ripon Ranch hulling and drying facilities, my family has always been involved in some aspect of food processing, but in 2003, they took it to a whole new level with the incorporation of Gold River Orchards. That provided an enticement to lure my great-grandson Don back to the ranch.
I would say it was in the 70s, maybe even earlier than that. Jerry would come home and say, you know, I really would like to expand and process our own walnuts. He just thought that would be very exciting. But we never could really get away from the farming end of it to go into the processing. There just weren't enough people and not enough time to do anything like that.
When I went out on my own for 20-some years, I always told my brothers that if there was an opportunity where I could come back to the family business in a substantive way to help, please give me a call. And that call came in the middle of 2002 when Brent called me and said, there's an existing walnut processing plant that is run by a neighbor of ours. They don't want to sell the business to just anyone. They want someone who will take care of the business and their customers. We need somebody to come out and run this. We've operated in the first 8 years of our existence out of a leased facility that we've completely outgrown. And so we need a larger facility. This plant will effectively double our capacity from what we're currently doing. It will also put us in a more modern facility that will be food safe and much more efficient.
A dream fulfilled after all those years.